You're here, I'm queer, and welcome back to my channel. Shinyan Kuaile! This video we will be celebrating Lunar New Year, and this is the year of the tiger. At first, I was really inspired by the Catwoman from Lucille Ball's Ziegfeld Follies. They just look so fierce and elegant at the same time. Her overall silhouette is very much inspired by Thierry Mugler, and I am really excited because of how strong and elegant it is. You guys know, I love femme fatales, so I'm definitely in my element. For our tiger doll, I will be making a hybrid. So for her face, I will be using this doll over here, which is so nice. It's one of my favorites. I believe I used this for my Wednesday Addams doll. So I just really love this face mold so much, and just the shape of it all is really great. And for her body, I will be using a Barbie Model Muse body, of course. You guys know I love the Model Muse bodies. I know it's just a static pose, but I'm just like, it's just so elegant to me, and personally, it's just, I mean, it's what I like to display anyway, and so far that is like what I have in mind. So we will be combining these two, the Barbie body, the Barbie Model Muse body, and then the head mold of the Made to Move one. You saw my sketch, so you know that this is going to have a very corseted look. So let's go ahead and modify her. I'm gonna be sewing her body in half. Please be careful if you're doing this, you know. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sew that, and we will be starting with the pinching of everything, the corseted look. Over here, I'm just stuffing her torso with just some cotton balls or whatever, just to fill in some space. I don't know if it's completely necessary, but I feel like it is, just so that the wire has something to hold on to, because the wire will kind of be acting as a spine. So yeah, let's go and put them back together, and as you can see, with the hot glue, it's a little bit more stable, and it's a little bit easier to actually sculpt, you know, the waist and everything. Let's go and take our epoxy sculpt clay over here. This is a 2-part epoxy clay that cures when both are combined together. Make sure you wear gloves for this because it's very toxic. It can be very irritating to the skin. So yeah, let's go ahead and start sculpting her new waistline. Again, this is gonna be pinch for the gods, but you can really do whatever with this one. You can do any shape you want. And yeah, I really just love the dramatic silhouette, and Thierry Mugler is very much known for corsetry and like just strong silhouettes. His designs and fashion will live on forever. As long as I'm here, I will be inspired by Mr. Thierry Mugler, you know? Over here, I am just sculpting more on her butt and also her thighs. I feel like when you're adding on to those, it really does dramatically change the shape of the doll. You guys know Model Muse, they're pretty much just like a straight body type. So adding shapes here and there, making the waist smaller and then making the hips wider and then making the butt a little bit bigger, it just changes it a little bit more. It's more graphic, more dramatic, so yeah. Over here, I'm just gonna go ahead and super glue her shoulders shut, you guys know, so that it's easier really to sculpt on top of it. And then again, with our clay, I will be giving her the shoulder pads. I really love shoulder pads, especially if they're pointed like this. Very like villainous, you know? But this really makes the silhouette so strong. Like if you just see a shadow of this doll, it's gonna be like just bold lines and just crazy dramatic silhouette. Over here, I'm just taking my pencil and kind of like sketching out the design of the bodysuit. So yeah. Again, I'm taking my clay and I'm adding on to the bodysuit design, and I'm just doing like a strip over here, and this will kind of act as an illusion that it is the hem of the bodysuit. As you can see, it looks really, really effective, and it has the illusion that she's already wearing a bodysuit without us adding on top of the actual body. So I really like that. Let's also work on her gloves, and this one is also very, very dramatic. I really love opera length gloves, and I love it when they are pointy like this. Like I said, very, very villainous, you know? For the gloves, I really want it to be very, very sleek looking and very tight looking, but I do acknowledge that any glove will have like wrinkles here and there, so I'm adding that onto kind of like the elbows and also the wrists. And that's pretty much it for the sculpting for her body so far, as you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and wait for all of this to cure, and we can move on to the head. Let's go ahead and prepare that. So over here we have our head mold. She's beautiful, but her hair has to go. So yeah. And then with our acetone or nail polish remover, if it has acetone in it, let's go ahead and remove her factory paint. Oh my god, you guys are seeing the beautiful sculpt over here. It's just perfection. And of course she does have the flocked hair, so I'm just taking a cotton ball with acetone again, and I'm just kind of going in there very, very thoroughly. Use a little bit of elbow grease if you need to. I'm also removing her ears with an X-Acto knife just because I will be covering her entire head with clay and I will not need this extra bulk. And here we have our clean canvas. We are ready to work on her. I'm really excited, so let's go ahead and pop this on back to the body because whenever I modify the head with clay, I don't like to remove it again. It's gonna be permanently here, so after that, she's staying on the body. Over here, I'm just kind of marking the silhouette of her mask, hoodie thingy, and I'm also taping her face because I don't want unnecessary clay to get on top of it. I want her face to be very, very clean, and yeah, because sometimes the epoxy sculpt, it gets everywhere. It's so messy sometimes. I'm just adding on a slab of layer on top of her head, and I made sure to make this as thin as possible because I didn't want it to be too bulky. However, it might be impossible sometimes, so just do your best to smooth it out and just make it very, very sleek. The overall aesthetic for this doll is just very sleek, futuristic, you know, femme fatale. That's like the main word, femme fatale. Of course, let's not forget her tiger ears, and at first I was like, okay, she looks like a bear because it was too curvy, but then when I made it pointy, she looked like a pig. I was like, what is going on? So I think I really needed to like paint it in order to get the effect, but I made it a little bit pointy but also rounded at the same time. We are giving her some tail, so I want to go ahead and drill the back of her for the tail to go in. And I was having a hard time, so I'm going to go ahead and take my power drill over here. And we are going to go ham. Well, you know, just so that her tail can go in there. And after all of the clay is cured, we can finally go ahead and sand everything. And it's kind of impossible to have it perfectly smooth, so just do your best. And over here I was using like 2 different grits, one very rough one and then one very smooth one. So yeah, I did my best though, and I think I was able to get it as smooth as possible. And here we have her, smooth as possible, like I said. But look at her, look at the silhouette. Oh my god, her pose is everything. I'm really excited. Let's go ahead and work on her tail though. And I'm just taking this wire over here, and this one's a little bit more of the stiff wire, just so that it will hold the pose perfectly. And for the clay, I will be using Cos clay. You guys know I've used this before when I was making my Kitty N doll. It was the same exact concept. I was making a cat girl as a doll with a flexible tail, so that's exactly what we're doing again. So yeah, I was actually surprised because this has been, like, I thought it was gonna be dry, but after I was playing around with it, it became really soft again. So I'm like, wow, the magic of polymer clay. And yes, this clay does need some oven baking, so just make sure that you guys have access to oven and temperature control oven at that. So yeah, I am just flattening this, and I'm gonna be inserting the wire in the middle, and we're just kind of like rolling it in, and that's how we'll bake it. I baked it for 30 to 20 minutes, and it was very fast. And of course, like I said, this is Cos clay. It's flexible polymer clay, and as you can see, you can bend it, you can do so much with it, and it's just kind of amazing. Now let's go ahead and move on to her face. I'm so excited. You guys know one of my favorite parts is the face up, the face repaint. So I just sprayed her entire body, actually, you know, just her face area with Mr. Super Clear, so we can now draw on her new face. And you guys know I love doing the smiles, I love doing the aloof, very stoic eyes. I just like, I don't know why I like serious looking dolls. Sometimes I do like a smiling doll, but for the most part, I want all of my dolls to look, you know, like they're not really friendly. But that's the thing, I want them to look not friendly, but they are friendly. So it's very like the layers, the storytelling, you know what I mean? One of my favorite parts about this particular head sculpt is her lips, because she is not smiling, like I said. And I love how like pouty her lips are. It's so nice, and I love doing these like 1940s lips on her. It's just amazing. It's like perfect. For her eyeshadow, I wanted it to be orange as well. Well, kind of like orange, red, and yellow in that kind of like combination. I just want the base of it to be orange because I wanted it to match her bodysuit, of course. And then I was gonna build it up and kind of smoke it out with some reds. And then I wanted to highlight the lids with the yellow. So we're gonna work our colors in there, and we will keep on layering and layering and layering, because you guys know when it comes to face up, when it comes to building in those colors, layering, I feel like that's not even a word anymore, layering is paramount. And of course, her eyeliner, like most of my face-ups that I like to do, is gonna be sharp. Very sharp. Sharper than her stripes. You know what I mean? I just love a good cat eye. This doll definitely has beautiful cheekbones, but I do still want to go ahead and add some contouring here. Very minimal contouring, or at least very, very minimal to me. But yes, I'm just doing it with some warm browns here and there, and I will add more color over time. Some cooler browns just to really give it more shadow, and I'm also going to be blushing her. So yeah, her face is going to have a lot of dimension. For her blush, I am using a combination of orange, red, and also pink. I don't know why, but I just love kind of like combining different colors for her blush. I thought it's just really nice, and I do use it as a contouring motion as well, just because I feel like that's gonna look the best on her, because she does have more of a very fierce vibe. And if I did it kind of like beneath her eyes literally, that might make her look a little too sweet. So I feel like contouring with the blush like really elevates her face a lot more and chisels it a lot more, and it just makes her look more fierce and sexy. Let's not forget to add some lower lashes if you'd like. You guys know I love lower lashes. I love lashes in general, and adding the lower lashes I just feel like adds more character to her. I'm taking my red acrylic paint and I'm going over her lips again, just because whenever I do like literal lipstick looks on the dolls, I want it to be very, very solid, and so I would usually go with paint. That's what I do with the whites of their eyes as well. When I want it to be very, very white and graphic, I go in with acrylic paint. And of course, because I cannot shut up about it, I'm gonna give her some beauty mark over here. Oh my god. I feel like I'm turning into that meme of like no one and then me. Oh my god, did you guys know I had my beauty mark tattooed? It's giving very that every time I like do it on a doll, so forgive me, but I'm still excited about it. For her lips, even though it is a lipstick look, I still want to add some shadow in there, so I typically do black for the sides of her lips, just because I feel like it gives it a lot of dimension. It makes her lips more 3D, and because I do overline the lips, literally, I feel like this is very like just the inner drag queen in me just loves it. And of course, this face up wouldn't be complete without a good highlighter, and for this one I was using gold and also red. You guys know I also love mixing my highlighter, and I am using the resin metallic pigment powders. And that is pretty much it for her face up for now. We still need to gloss up her lips, and I still need to add some lashes. However, I will do that towards the very end because we still have a lot of work to do for her bodysuit, her overall costume. So let's go ahead and color match her legs for now and work our way up. But yeah, her legs are going to be covered with fishnets anyway, but I still tried my best to color match it as much as possible. And as you can see, it's not a bad match. It looks pretty good, and I am going to spray this with Mr. Super Clear because I will be blushing it later. Now let's go ahead and paint her bodysuit. This is such a beautiful orange, and I just realized I don't really work with, well, I feel like last year when I made Kahel, obviously she was orange for Pride, but I feel like for the most part I don't work with oranges, so it's really, really cool. And it was really hard, like, because at first this was either looking like Cheetos or it was looking like a Halloween pumpkin, so it was kind of all over the place. I was getting worried. I was like, this is not looking very femme fatale-y. And here I am, I'm just taking my blush again, and I am blushing up her knees just to add some dimension there. I do know it's going to be covered with fishnets, however, this can still be seen under the fishnets. So I wanted to make this kind of like a detail, just because, you know. And you guys probably don't know, but I have an obsession with lined stockings. It's very, very vintage, obviously. It's like 1940s, 1950s, and specifically with the French heel over here. So I thought, like, why not draw it on and see, like, how it works? I mean, me drawing it on is very 1940s, actually. It's apropos, you know, for what I'm referencing. So I used pencil first, and then I'm going over it with acrylic paint. I wanted to sketch it out first because I knew that I was gonna mess up so bad. I mean, as you can see, I'm messing up so much right now. But yeah, the pencil definitely helped with some guidance. And as you can see, it actually looks pretty good like this. It looks like she's wearing stockings. However, I do want to give her an actual fishnets in the end. Let's go ahead and add some detail lining here for her bodysuit. I thought like doing this would frame her just entire overall look, and it would match like the black gloves, the black shoes, and stuff like that. I mean, her color story is definitely just orange and black, but I thought like adding some more black hemming on her bodysuit will really sell the effects. Painting these gloves are just so freaking satisfying. Like, oh my god, even at like matte color, it looks really, really cool. However, I will be glossing everything up because I want that patent leather look. Now let's go ahead and start adding the stripes, and this one was so freaking fun actually because I didn't have to be like very like perfect with it because obviously they're like tiger stripes, so it actually needs to be kind of like messy and like organic. So me having messed up brushes actually worked in my favor. Like this brush has been with me for like almost a decade now, and it's very, very worn out. It literally has like 5 bristles in there. Yeah, but look at it. It's doing its job. It's doing like a beautiful job at creating organic lines. So I thought that was really, really cool. The only main part that I was worried about is making it very, very sharp towards the ends. I didn't want to have blunt lines. I wanted them to be very sharp, very edgy, and yeah. Obviously, we cannot forget about the tail, and for this one, if you're wondering, I was not using anything in particular, any special paint. I was literally just using the acrylic paint as well, and then I'm going over it with the gloss. I feel like the gloss is the one that's helping it still be flexible without the paint cracking, but if you want to be sure, I would mix my acrylic paints with maybe Mod Podge whenever you're painting a flexible clay. And here we have our tiger doll, kind of painted completely. Look at her, she looks beautiful. The stripes are everything, and I just love how organic they are. They're pretty realistic, but also very cartoon-like, so I really like it. It's actually giving very like Josie and the Pussycats. Let's go ahead and make everything glossy. Usually when I'm doing this, I would layer the gloss up at least 4 times because sometimes it won't be as glossy as I want it to be, and I really want it to be high shine, you know? So yeah. And I almost forgot to paint her hood, so over here I'm just painting the lining black to match her bodysuit. And I feel like it just makes it look more neat. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and gloss up her lips as well. I actually did not mind the matte color lips, but I'm like, why not? I love glossing it up anyway. And of course, for her shoes, she deserves a good stiletto pump. So I'm just using my Model Muse pumps over here. You guys are probably like, how many pumps does he have? I have a lot, but it's running out, so, you know, I'm getting worried. But I'm just painting it black, and of course, we're gonna be giving it the Christian Louboutin treatment. She deserves a good pair of red bottoms. And voila! I mean, it's so crazy, like, color transformation. This is my go-to though, is black pumps with red bottoms. Ugh, such a classic. I love it. And I'm actually super gluing this onto her feet, just because I want it to be very, very secured, because the next step is a little bit more annoying of a process. This is my first time trying it, so bear with me. So over here, as you can see, I have my fabric. This is gonna be her fishnets, and this technique is actually by Leona's workshop. This is where I learned it from. But pretty much you're just gluing this onto the legs, and this is very, very popular with anime figures or resin garage kits. So I am just doing my best, but make sure to check out Leona's workshop's version of the video. I feel like she explained it a lot better, obviously. And again, this is my first time doing it, but I'll have her video down below so you guys can check it out. But yeah, so I'm pretty much just painting her legs with glue over here and the fishnets together while it's being held in the back with these clips over here. She was using magnets, so I feel like the magnet is actually better because you're able to pull it tighter. But I did my best at doing this, and I feel like in the end it was a good result. I wouldn't say it was perfect, but it wasn't a fail, to say the least. Look at that. I mean, the before and after, it's really, really nice. It's very seamless, and I like how tight it is. The reason why I tried to do this is because usually when you are sewing tights for dolls, it's not this tight. It's not literally skin tight, and I hate that. So I like that this technique is able to give you a really skin tight look for the fishnets. And also, the real reason is that these shoes will not fit if the doll is wearing the stockings. So that's also like one of my major qualms with a real stocking that a doll can wear, because this model Mew's pumps will not fit. And you guys know I will do my best to have the overall aesthetic be correct. And so that's why I tried to do this, and honestly, I am obsessed. And now for finishing touches, let's go ahead and give her some lashes. And oh my god, we're pretty much done. As you can see, her legs, you can see the blushing on her knees, like I am obsessed, the high gloss of it all. Let's go ahead and attach her tail over here. You can super glue this, by the way, but I choose not to because I'm like, why? You know, I feel like it's fine. It can be removable. And look how it bends so beautifully. I love it. But we're pretty much done. We just need to add a little bit more highlighter to her. And we're pretty much done with our tiger doll.